Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the heart of a vast forest, there lived a young girl named Lily. Lily was a kind-hearted and curious girl who loved exploring the woods and spending time with her family and friends. One day, as she was wandering through the forest, she stumbled upon a hidden glade that she had never seen before. In the center of the glade, there was a beautiful, shimmering pond that sparkled in the sunlight. Intrigued, Lily approached the pond and peered into the clear, turquoise water. As she gazed into the pond, she saw something moving beneath the surface. It was a small, golden fish, darting back and forth among the reeds and lily pads. Lily was enchanted by the fish's beauty and grace, and she decided to reach out and catch it. But as she reached into the water, the fish suddenly vanished, leaving only ripples on the surface. Lily was disappointed, but she knew that there were many more wonders to discover in the forest. So she continued on her way, exploring the woods and enjoying the sights and sounds of nature. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and Lily continued to explore the forest and learn about the creatures that lived there. She made friends with the birds, the squirrels, and the rabbits, and she learned to identify different types of plants and flowers. One day, as she was walking through the woods, she heard a faint, musical sound coming from the direction of the hidden glade. She followed the sound, and soon she found herself standing once again at the edge of the shimmering pond. This time, however, something was different. The pond was no longer still and peaceful. Instead, it was roiling and turbulent, and Lily could see that something was thrashing around in the water. She approached the pond cautiously, and as she drew near, she saw that it was the same golden fish that she had seen before. But now, instead of darting back and forth among the reeds, the fish was struggling desperately to free itself from a tangle of vines that had ensnared it. Lily knew that she had to help the fish. Without hesitation, she plunged into the water and swam towards the struggling creature. She used her hands to carefully untangle the vines, and after a few moments of careful work, she freed the fish. The fish swam away quickly, but not before it turned to look at Lily with a grateful expression in its eyes. And as she stood in the middle of the pond, surrounded by the beauty of nature, Lily realized that this was her calling in life, to protect and care for the creatures of the forest. From that day forward, Lily spent all of her free time exploring the woods and learning more about the animals that lived there. She helped injured birds and animals, and she worked to keep the forest clean and free of litter. Over time, other people in the village began to notice Lily's work, and they were inspired by her dedication and love for the forest. Soon, a group of like-minded individuals formed a community dedicated to preserving the natural beauty of the woods, and Lily became their leader and spokesperson. Together, they worked tirelessly to protect the forest, and over time, they succeeded in establishing a system of parks and protected areas that ensured the continued health and vitality of the woods and all of its inhabitants. Years passed, and Lily grew old and wise. But even as she aged, she never lost her love for the forest and its creatures. And when she finally passed away, the people of the village honored her memory by naming a new park after her, a park that would serve as a living testament to her love and dedication for the natural world. The Lily Park, as it came to be known, quickly became a popular destination for tourists and nature enthusiasts alike. The park was filled with walking trails, picnic areas, and playgrounds, all nestled among the towering trees and babbling streams of the forest. But even as the park grew in popularity, the people who had known Lily best never forgot her original vision for the forest. They continued to work tirelessly to protect the woods and ensure that it remained a vibrant and healthy ecosystem for generations to come. As time passed, the world outside the forest began to change. The village that had once been a small, close-knit community began to grow and expand, and new industries and technologies began to encroach on the forest's borders. But even as the pressures of modern life began to take their toll, the people who loved the forest remained steadfast in their commitment to protect it. They worked with local governments and conservation organizations to establish new protected areas, and they pushed for new laws and regulations to prevent development and ensure the forest's continued health and vitality. And in the end, their efforts paid off. The forest remained a vibrant and healthy ecosystem, teeming with life and beauty, and the Lily Park continued to serve as a shining example of what was possible when people came together to protect the natural world. As the years went by, Lily's story became the stuff of legend, passed down from generation to generation as a reminder of the power of love and dedication. And even though the world around them continued to change, the people who loved the forest never forgot the lesson that Lily had taught them, that with hard work and determination, anything was possible. Over time, the Lily Park became not only a place of recreation and relaxation but also a hub for environmental education and activism. Children and adults alike came to the park to learn about the forest's delicate ecosystem and the importance of conservation. Many of these visitors were inspired by Lily's story and the legacy that she had left behind. They too became dedicated to protecting the natural world and worked tirelessly to ensure that future generations would be able to enjoy the same beauty and wonder that Lily had cherished. And as the world continued to change, the people of the forest faced new challenges and obstacles. Climate change brought rising temperatures and more severe weather patterns, and invasive species threatened to disrupt the delicate balance of the forest's ecosystem. But even in the face of these challenges, the people of the forest remained steadfast. They worked to mitigate the effects of climate change by planting new trees and reducing their carbon footprint. They fought tirelessly to remove invasive species and restore the forest's natural balance. And in the end, their efforts paid off. The forest remained a vibrant and healthy ecosystem, teeming with life and beauty, and the Lily Park continued to serve as a shining example of what was possible when people came together to protect the natural world. Years turned into decades, and the people who had once known Lily grew old and passed on their legacy to a new generation of environmental stewards. But even as the world continued to change, the spirit of Lily lived on, inspiring new generations to protect and cherish the natural world. And in the end, it was this legacy that proved to be the most enduring. For long after the last of the people who had known Lily had passed away, the forest and the creatures that lived there continued to thrive, a testament to the power of love and dedication. And as the world continued to turn, the people of the forest knew that they had done everything in their power to protect the natural world and ensure that future generations would be able to enjoy the same beauty and wonder that Lily had cherished. And in that knowledge, they found a deep and abiding sense of peace and satisfaction, knowing that they had fulfilled the legacy of a truly remarkable woman. As time passed, the Lily Park became not just a local treasure but a national one. Visitors came from all corners of the country to experience the beauty and serenity of the forest, and the park's educational programs became renowned for their depth and effectiveness. And as the park's reputation grew, so did its influence. The people of the forest began to work with other conservation organizations and government agencies to share their knowledge and expertise, spreading the message of environmental protection far beyond the borders of their small village. They worked to establish new protected areas, to push for stronger laws and regulations, and to educate the public about the importance of conservation. And as they did so, they found that the legacy of Lily had become something much greater than they had ever imagined. It was a legacy of love and dedication, of hard work and sacrifice. It was a legacy of hope, of the belief that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, anything was possible. And it was a legacy that lived on, long after the people who had known Lily had passed away. For in the hearts and minds of those who had been inspired by her story, the spirit of Lily continued to burn bright, a shining example of the power of one person to make a difference in the world. In the end, the Lily Park became not just a place of recreation and education, but a symbol of hope and inspiration for people around the world. And as visitors walked the park's winding trails and gazed out over the forest's rolling hills and babbling streams, they knew that they were standing in the presence of something truly special. They were standing in the presence of a legacy of love and dedication, of hard work and sacrifice. A legacy that had been created by one remarkable woman and carried forward by countless others who had been touched by her story. And as they stood there, gazing out over the forest and feeling the warm sun on their faces, they knew that they were part of something much larger than themselves. They were part of a movement that sought to protect and cherish the natural world, and to ensure that future generations would be able to experience its beauty and wonder for themselves. For in the end, that was the true legacy of Lily, a legacy that lived on in the hearts and minds of all those who had been touched by her story. And it was a legacy that would continue to inspire and guide people for generations to come.